try stinky tofu?
No, I mean, I passed nearby it and I was almost dead, so my girlfriend took me out.
In the daytime, I'm an English teacher, and in the nighttime, I'm a drag queen.
I'm a new mom.
Hello, can I say hello or not?
The feeling, oh my god, why are you wearing this? Oh, this is so bad.
Hello everyone, my name is David. I'm from Italy. My age is sorry, no, let's do it again.
And I was just like running around to everyone being like, hey, I learned this new thing. I know how babies are made.
My name is Yusuf. I'm coming from Azerbaijan and I've been here already 5 weeks. It's a nice city.
My name is Nick. I come from New Zealand and I have lived in Taiwan for 1.5 years.
I'm Prava from Nepal. I've been here for 9 years now.
Hello everyone, my name is Davide. It's been 4 years that I'm living in Taiwan.
My name is Laura Patricia Pardo, and I've been 4 years in Taiwan.
Hi, I'm Dries. Oh, I've been in Taiwan for 3 years this time.
My legs, because they're very long. Oh.
I think I like eyes.
I think my eyes and my chest and my skin.
I feel like it's sort of weird to like pick the body apart, but I do feel like I get the most comments on my eyes and then also my legs.
Which part of my body I like the most? My hand. I don't know, I just really like, maybe since I was a kid, and a lot of people tell me that I have beautiful hands. So.
I'm not uncomfortable being naked around other people, but I think if someone is just trespassing or being disrespectful or staring too much or being offensive, I will feel uncomfortable, obviously.
Yes, if they are comfortable in front of me, me naked, I don't care mostly, like, cause the human body is beautiful. Why not to be comfortable?
Initially, no. Like even in front of my husband, it was quite like in the beginning, it was really awkward for me because we are not used to being like naked in front of other people.
Of course, I've been naked in some naked beach, and I've been naked for some works, some projects, so I don't have problems being naked.
But in my culture, it's not. You can't just like, walk around naked. People will beat the shit out of you.
Fully naked, yeah. I will show you later.
I first learned about sex actually through biology textbooks. So I remember I borrowed this book and it was just like basic human anatomy. At the time I found out about, like penis and vagina and pregnancy and menstruation and everything, but it was like a very scientific understanding of it. Like my brain didn't actually quite process it at the time. I was about 8 years old.
From school education, I grew up in South Africa, so we had to learn about HIV from a young age because it's a really big problem there.
It was a weird experience with my friend. There was a time when people were having phones with the buttons and they were watching square porns.
I think on textbooks, during my time, I don't know what's the situation now, but even the teacher was like just reading out everything. Like he is also shy to tell.
I first took a phone trying to play a game and just get to the media and saw the porn. I was like, what the?
And my parents never told me about any sex.
Not even before you married?
No.
So first you were shocked?
Yeah, I was like, whoa, and there's like electroshock coming from whole body. Oh, this is something nice or new I experienced.
And your kids watching it?
Of course, who does stuff,
I was in the 4th grade. They took us all, like many grades, to watch a movie. And this movie was about a couple that's falling in love. And they started kissing, and then they went to the room, and the camera just focused on the cover. It has 2 cats, and then the cats start moving like this. They are rubbing each other constantly.
I was 14 when I understand what is sex, and whole friends that I met in a different side of the world, mostly in Europe, America, and a western side of the world. They already know what is sex from the child times, like when they're kids. I mean, they have the education, but we didn't, and it's a bit sacred thing to talk about sex.
South Africa is far more conservative. It's a very religious culture. But when I moved from South Africa to New Zealand when I was 11, I was very shocked at how mature my classmates seemed, because in South Africa we never talked about sex, whereas in New Zealand all the kids knew what everything was and what all the body parts were and what all these kind of sexual slangs were, and I was very surprised.
I actually knew nothing about it. I came to know a lot of things after I came to Taiwan, because we never discussed with anybody, not even friends or families. This is something that's kept quite secret. Like, you are not supposed to talk about it. Even whenever we used to watch the English movies, we were asked to close the eyes while they were kissing or having the sex.
There is a big gap, because there are still traditional family where sex is taboo. Like my family, they were really open-minded and free, and we always talk about sex since I was a little kid. Like, if I have a problem, I go to my mom or my dad and I can ask some suggestions, or like if I'm curious about something, they will tell me, because of course they used to have more experience than me.
Is it still like a little bit hard for you to talk about this right now?
No, I think now I'm okay. I've become half Taiwanese already.
There was another instance when we went to Disneyland, and they had, for some reason, there was an exhibit there about like how babies are made. And so I remember asking her, and I was like, "Oh, mommy, so like, did you do that with daddy?" And then she was like, "Yeah." And then I think that was like the extent of like all the conversation I've ever had with my mother about sex.
In my country, really, people show a lot of skin, and there is a culture for women to show, and our clothes are designed to show our bodies, so our pants are very, I think, too low, and we are encouraged to show our breasts and also have very, very pretty hair and be very beautiful for men.
I think we really lag behind the sex education, and I think we have many rape cases, or like even the very small child is raped. I think it's all lack of sex education.
The media exerts a lot of pressure on women to be very pretty, so that's why in Colombia we have many women with anorexia, bulimia, and depression, and the pressure starts very early in school, around the 5th or 6th grade. Even the notebooks they sell for students portray women in bikinis, very mini bikinis.
Men is mostly allowed to do a lot of things. There's a lot of social pressure for the woman in every society, and I felt it in my own too. Hopefully it is already developing, but right now it's not in the level that you can say, yeah, we have equal rights for the women and men. Even if there is equal rights in a government level, but social pressure, you know this. If a woman goes and has a sex with her own will, she can be considered a whore in a level that, why you fuck before marriage, right?
And we have many culture, even when you have period, you cannot sit on the same table with your family and eat together. You have to sit in the corner, sleep separate place. Like, we are taught like you are not supposed to show your body. But
your traditional clothes is kind of sexy though.
Yeah, that's the funniest part. Like we always argue with my grandfather, because he not used to like us wearing jeans, because he thought it's like Western style. Like, you have to wear your traditional clothes, and we all always complain like, you show your stomach here and there. That's not like showing off your body, but you wear the shorts. Like, it's a big deal.
But I think because like the level of sexual education is better too, like it's a little safer. Whereas in Taiwan, I feel like the level of education isn't there as much. So basic things like, you know, guys using condoms. I've had way more Taiwanese guys just be like, let's not use condom. And I'm like, no.
Like the people who believe in a culture or in a religion, or scared that God will strike them with the, you know, something from the up there, they're really scared. But there are people who are right now, you know, they are kind of showing they're scared, but they fuck around still. And that's where the anal sex comes to help.
In countries like in Taiwan or in Europe, girls are not obligated to show their own body or be naked. But when you come here, I feel there's more equality, and there is a very biggest diverse on beauty. Women are more valued about, maybe are more valued because of their values or their ability.
Because Africa in general is quite conservative towards LGBT culture. Actually, because of colonization, a lot of Europeans came like hundreds of years ago, and they pressed their Christian beliefs onto the African population, and then those stayed in all the laws So a lot of the laws against homosexuality in Africa are from the British or the French. And then South Africa has kind of moved away from that a lot more, and they've legalized same-sex marriage now. But still, there's a lot of homophobic abuse, and it's still not a very safe place, especially for lesbian women.
I mean, we had a lot of problems with LGBT people in a country also. Affected by Islam, the idea of Islam that being gay, being homosexual is definitely forbidden. But the people who are not scared about the religion, they still are under pressure of the society who thinks that it's not right to do.
Because Colombia has a very big religious background, it's Catholicism, and in Catholicism this kind of sexuality was perceived as a sin or wrong. So that's why before people tend to reject gay people a lot, but I think this is changing, and right now we're becoming every time more free.
Still, like in Italy, there are many families that if you're gay or lesbian, they think that there is a sickness.
I think so much have changed during these years. Still they're discriminated. Like when they walk on the street, people will tease them or like discriminate them, bully them. Like from the government point of view, it's now written in the constitutions. They have equal rights. They can find government jobs. They can even go to the army. But the same-sex marriage or like adopting the baby or do the IVF, it's in the legislature now. Hopefully by next year it will be passed.
I think Taiwan right now, like they are on their way to do this, and this is good because it means that there is an evolution.
We're in the level that people are not accepting LGBT, people are not accepting each other as how they are. The point is, I'll go back and talk about my experiences to the people who think that majority is always right, or who think that the culture is always the right answer. It has to be developed, I think.
For Asia, Taiwan is incredibly progressive. I feel like it's one of the safest places in Asia, if not the world, to be openly LGBT. You're not going to get beaten up or harassed or put in jail, which is a blessing. But it's still not very, very progressive in some ways. Like obviously after the referendum, that was quite difficult and sad to go through, to see all these people reject our right to get married, which I thought was not very fair. Even to put human rights to a referendum was rather ridiculous to me.
Like in the beginning, when I had a daughter, I always also thought like, what if she become lesbian or something? And my husband always told me it's her choice. We have to accept whatever she is.
I met my husband in Japan. I used to live there and he used to live there. And now we decided to get married. So we went back to New Zealand in February and we got married on my parents' lawn because they live on the beach. So we had a big lawn beach party with a big white tent, and I have a tattoo. Yeah, it's a little C, like double C.
I think it's their right, it's their choice, and everyone should be treated equal. When I just came, I had a different view. Like I was thinking, how can a man like a man or a girl like a girl? Like I could never imagine. But I think when I came here and then start to think about it in an open-minded, not thinking about what my culture tells me or something, then I feel it's their right. It's a humanity. Yeah, they should have a right to.
You're totally right to have a right to marry whoever you want, so fight for this.
Like you guys are doing great, you guys are doing awesome, and I feel like on a personal level it's more difficult. It is like a very open society for that, which I feel is very fortunate. Yeah, so keep fighting.
You are important and you matter, and even if it's not safe to be yourself, you should try as hard as you can to be yourself.
Of the last thing that happened about the referendum here in Taiwan, then we didn't win, but still let's hold on hope and let's keep believing in our ideas, and we don't have to let us down, because there is still hope and there is still chance that if we just keep telling and telling our stories and let us to the whole generation know what is LGBT community and what it's about. Soon, a lot of people will understand better, and there is a big chance to win. So.
Me gustaría que todas las mujeres de Latinoamérica supieran que en otros países no tenemos la presión de estar mostrando nuestro cuerpo constantemente y nuestra ropa es un poco más, yo pienso que respetuosa y protege la privacidad de nuestro cuerpo, y esto nos ayuda porque en la cultura en general, en la calle o en nuestro ambiente de trabajo y estudio, si usamos una ropa más cubierta, un poco más profesional, nuestras relaciones con los hombres y la cordialidad entre las personas mejora mucho. También disminuye el acoso sexual o como la transgresión a la intimidad, y eso es algo muy importante. Es algo que me gusta mucho de Taiwán y de países como Japón o países donde no se incita a la mujer a mostrar su cuerpo constantemente para complacer a los hombres, y las mujeres no tienen una presión de ser como una reina de belleza. En otros países sí se tiene una presión de estar delgado o de tener la cara puntuda o de tener el pelo de cierta manera, pero de todas formas pienso que en Latinoamérica se ejerce demasiada presión contra la mujer para que muestre su cuerpo constantemente.